Cold Bore is your data standard. We're establishing what's happening on pad. We're recording it in a clean, standard manner. And once the data is there, like, let's go to the moon with it, right?
Yeah, I remember when we did this the first time, we just sat down over there and we're like, okay, let's set the cameras up. And then we recorded something. The audio did not really turn out. So we sent the clip in and it didn't work out. Anyway, it was a trial run. That was what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, but I was happy to be your guinea pig.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And look where we are now. And speaking of that, you've started working with us. So
yeah.
How's it been? What do we, I think we're a month, three something weeks in now.
Yep.
But what's your first take as the new employee here?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how to say it like other than excitement. Like, it's just an exciting place to be, right? Everyone's pumped about what we're building. I'm pumped about what we're building. Everyone is so excited to see a better standard for completions data. And it's really cool to be part of the team that is building and defining what the future of data is going to be in completions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And then maybe just for some of the listeners here who haven't seen you yet, first of all, what's your name and where did you come from, I guess?
Yeah. Hey, my name's Danica. I worked at an operator as a drilling and completions engineer. I kind of bounced back and forth between drilling and completions. And I spent a good long time in completions, and then I bumped back to drilling. And the second I was in drilling again, after dealing with subpar data and completions, you have this like light bulb moment if you're like, what was I doing in completions? Like, you were spending so much time wrangling these CSVs and it's horrible. And so, you wouldn't drill a well without pace on, and you kind of have that light bulb moment of like, why would you complete a well without cold bore? And so I did that. Then I was a data scientist for the operator. And then I was briefly working at a different oil and gas technology company, but I'm really happy to be back in my roots in completion, solving a problem that I think is really solvable and really exciting. And, I've been a fan of cold bore for a long time. Back when I worked at an operator, I was always excited when they would come in and show us what they were building. And I think it's just really cool to see the progress and to see someone take the challenge of fixing this at its core, because it's not an easy problem to solve. Like, you do have to have hardware and you have to have a lot of thought put into it. And you've seen a lot of people come into this space and, everyone thinks you have big data in oil and gas. And yeah, there's big data, but it's disorganized and it's messy and it's not leading you where you want to go. And so it's been really cool to see cold bore go down the right path to fix it at its root, instead of like just kind of doing maybe something that's a little bit better than we were doing yesterday, but still isn't really solving the core issue.
Oh man, yeah, well said. And I mean, I've been here coming up on 10 months or something now, and it's just been an incredible journey right from the start. It was diving in head first, and here we are going into the summer, end of the quarter here. Like, you couldn't ask to be in a more exciting time at Cold Bore, but also in the industry.
For sure.
People are asking the questions. They want to get more established. They want to understand. We go into operators all the time. We saw three operators yesterday in Dallas, and everybody has something different today to say.
Yep.
Someone might be well along in their completions real-time center. The other one might be going, we want to figure this out. We walk into major companies here in Houston that are coming to us now saying like, okay, we've got the data standards established in drilling. We've got the drilling centers all set up. We need to establish these completions real-time centers that they just you'd be surprised they haven't existed, but they haven't. And we're at that point where people want it. And you've also come in at a really cool time too with this newly announced partnership with Corva.
Absolutely.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, did you ever see that coming? When you were working at an operator, but even when you were watching this, 6 to 12 months ago.
No, I think it's been really cool for everybody to figure out where they sit in the completion space, right? And I think there's probably still more for us to figure out of who all plays nicely with each other, right? But yeah, for sure, it makes sense to have a partnership with Corva, right? They have a great reputation. I used them when I was a drilling engineer. They were really helpful. But they have a great reputation of building great visualizations and intuitive things and applying some good models. And so it just makes sense that we would partner with them. And plug good data in, because if you've got good data, then it's awesome and easy to make good visualizations. So it's a natural partnership. I think it's really cool to watch it all kind of shake out, because back when I was at an operator, it was very much like, oh, well, we want to try something in the completion space. And like, should we try Corva, or should we try Cold Bore, or should we try, one of the many other people that were out there, some smaller startups, some, IWS, how do they fit into it? All of the companies. And it really wasn't clear back then. And I think everyone thought everybody had a lot of overlap. And I think probably a lot of people did have a lot of overlap for a long time, but it's all kind of shaking out now of, Cold Bore is your data standard. We're establishing what's happening on pad. We're recording it in a clean, standard manner. And once the data is there, like, let's go to the moon with it, right?
Yep. It's an exciting time. I mean, we could go on and on and on about all the things we want to do and accomplish, but I'm very excited to have you on board, because first of all, we get along really well. So that's a great start. Everybody here at the team gets along great. But when we go into meetings together, I'll go in with my perspective on how I think it's going to go. And I start kind of going down one road, and you may direct the conversation a little bit from your perspective. But more so when we get out of whatever it is, whether it's a casual lunch meeting or a detailed technical meeting at somebody's office, the perspective that you bring from actually being at an operator and with your data science background, combined with the vision and the excitement of what we do and how we connect the right people, it's really a great combination. So
I appreciate that.
And it's helping me get a little more organized here real fast too. Just to have somebody that's better at taking notes. I think Brett and I are very good at saying a lot of things and just talking fast and doing what we do. But sometimes we forget some of the details that we're talking about. So it's nice to have a little bit more help keeping everybody on track, and then establishing a direction in our teams internally. Because we go to an operator and they talk about all these cool things we want to do, and then we need a roadmap to actually figure that out.
Yeah.
So
it's so cool going on the opposite side with operators, because they all have so many problems. And they're all determined to solve these problems. And it's interesting because lots of them have overlapping problems, and someone's got a problem that somebody else doesn't care about, and vice versa. But it's so cool to see how different people's entire operation are, right? It's people who maybe are going to get a frac fleet this year and they're pretty excited, and they're excited for any little bit of technological advancement, to some people we work with that are doing like full remote simul fracs, and like it's mind-boggling, right? And so it's so cool just for me, like on a nerdy side, just to like geek out at like how diverse our like everybody's operations are. And when you work at an operator, like you talk to people, at a conference or something, but it's not the same as like actually seeing here, fully understanding their operations.
No.
And it's fascinating.
Yeah, you get to see a lot. And actually, one of the guys we met with yesterday made that comment. They asked us, well, you guys see a lot. Like, what do you think of this? Right. And we're like, well, this is incredible, right? We do see a lot of things, but what you guys are doing here is amazing. Yeah. Right. And it's very reassuring to those types of people that get feedback from us, because we are out there doing that on the day-to-day. And I mean, I've always lived in this world, and where I get to see a lot of different things, and I'm just used to it, but it's cool seeing it from a fresh set of eyes, from somebody that come from the other side or whatever you want to say. But and yeah, you get to be on all these different types of sales meetings and technical follow-ups, and see the way that we structure things. And so it's a pretty fun journey that we get to go on here, and everybody that we bring into the team adds a ton of value and new perspective. So we're happy to have you on board, and we're just getting started. So buckle up.
Yeah, pumped to be here. Let's go layer zero.